you can live happy and enjoying yourself if you're in farming. The number one factor to succeed in farming, especially chicken farming, is to sacrifice, and you have to first sacrifice time in order to succeed in raising chicken, especially for eggs. The most advice that I give my people is to start small and at least work our way up. That will help you grow slowly but stable. If you're to succeed in farming, or if you're to raise chickens, you have to look into what is most needed on the market in your area. The number of chickens that are mostly needed on the market when it comes to meat, there are layers that have completely finished to lay eggs, and we sell them. You find there are many on the market, and even the prices of these layers, even if they drop, they are still needed on the market. So it's more important to first look into what is most needed in your market, then you start with that. There are some areas where you're going to raise eggs and chickens, and their eggs have to be white. The shells have to be white. And there are some areas like in Uganda whereby the most eggs that are sold on the market have to be brown. And that is why we are raising the brown chickens, because most of the people buy eggs that they find brown in the shops or in the supermarkets compared to the white eggshells. When you talk about profits, the profits that we make from the eggs varies, all depends on the cost of feeds, also the prices that are on those eggs in the market. They keep on changing. Most of the time when the prices of eggs increase, the cost of feeds decrease. But sometimes you find the eggs are high, prices are high, but also the feeds are high. So the prices or the profits that we get from the eggs varies depending on the market. If you want to enjoy farming, at least try to minimize the cost of feeds. If you have land, you can plant maize because it carries 70% of the chicken feeds. If you're sure that the cost of feeds have dropped, at least stock. If you don't have land to plant, stock the feeds when the costs drop. There are countries where the cost of feeds are stable, but for us, the cost always changes. It's not difficult to raise the chicken. We spend 8 hours in the chicken if we are brooding day-old chicks. But to collect eggs, every 1 hour, all 2 hours, we enter the chicken house and we collect eggs until they completely finish laying at 4 p.m. Then we close the day, and it is very easy to raise the chicken that way. So if you're having a full-time job, you can also do it. You can raise this chicken, especially meat chickens, because you can feed them in the morning and leave the home. Then in the evening, you give them other portion of feeds. But for the eggs, it is difficult if you're having a full-time job, because you have to collect eggs. Feeding chicken greens, you're cutting the cost of medicine and you're cutting the cost of vitamins that you have to give your chicken. So you have to learn how you can minimize the costs in any way, not only on the feeds, but also medication, even the labor. Sometimes you might find me giving my chicken herbal medicine. For example, I might give them the greens, darker greens, herbs. I'm minimizing the cost of medication, because medicines that we give this chicken are very, very expensive. And sometimes I use aloe vera, garlic. I mix them together, like right now. They eat, they drink these herbs, and you find them they're healthy. If you want to animal, minimize the costs of feeds and medicine. Also, selling eggs to individuals, all the final consumers is the best way to make more profits out of the eggs, out of the chicken, because in most cases, if you're having few chickens, if you raised just a few numbers, it's better to communicate with different people and sell them the eggs directly instead of selling them to the wholesalers, whereby you're going to get little profits or few profits from your eggs. And by the way, it helps you to sell fresh eggs mostly if you're selling to the final consumer every single day. Remember this, there is no business that has 100% proof. You might be planning to spend less, but in the middle, things change and you have to increase on the expenditure. So it's better to start with a few number of birds. If you're going to raise chickens, especially if you're a beginner, start with a few number of birds and then see how this business can be maintained when the chicks have grown up. There are challenges in this business, and I'm telling you the truth. For example, the most challenge that I have seen is finding dead chicken that are not even sick. Chicken that have been raised from 1 month up to 3 months, they can die within 10 minutes. Even a piece of thread can cause the death of this chicken, can scare this chicken and die within 10 minutes. And you find like 25 chicken or 50 chicken are dead within just a few minutes. So the protection that you give them, time you give this chicken is so important to save them from death. And starting small makes this business, all these challenges, minor. Lastly, I feed my chicken fresh fruits, and also I dry up the orange peels, greens, and I mix them in the chicken feeds. The fruits that you've seen, orange peels, I dry them up, mill them up, and get the powder and mix them in the chicken feeds, and sometimes I give them in the drinking water to save the vitamins and to treat, because the greens that I use help to treat chicken diseases. So if you can minimize on the costs, you'll be able to save money and you'll be able to make more money from the chicken. Thank you so much. I love you all. Let's meet in the next one.